Hello, fifth graders. Welcome back to math. Here we go. So you're going to press pause and you're going to copy this all down. All right, now that you have it all copied down, what we're going to do is we're going to convert the decimals between standard form and expanded form. And it sounds really difficult, but it really isn't. One thing you need to keep in mind for today's lesson, remember we talked about the order of operations. Everything that we learned in the past, you're going to use. So don't forget things. Remember the order of operations, we talked about multiply before you add. So let's take a look at our first example. Our first example says 7 times 1/10 plus 4 times 1/100th. So I'm going to show you two ways that you can do this. So here we go first. We know we need to multiply before we can add. You see there's two multiplication symbols here. Then we have our addition. According to the rule, we multiply first. So I like to put brackets around mine so I know what I need to do first. So I need to do that first, and then I'm going to do this second. So now let me multiply 7 times 1/10. So 7 times 0, anything times 0 is 0. So 0. There's a decimal here, so make sure you write your decimal. 7 times 1, anything times 1 is always the other number, so 7. So 1 times 7 is 7. Plus, let's bring that down. Now let's do the same thing over here. 4 times 0. Remember, anything times 0 is always 0. There's a decimal right here, so we need to bring that decimal down. Again, 4 times 0 is 0. And then 4 times 1 is 4. So now we need to add 7/10 plus 4/100 together. When you add decimals, you need to line up the decimals. So I'm going to put it over here and write it vertically so that way I can line up the decimals. So I have 7/10. And then over here is 4/100. So I have my decimal 0, 4. If there's no number here, all it means is it's a 0. Remember, I'm adding these together. 4 plus nothing is 4. 7 plus 0 is 7. Bring my decimal down. So my answer is 74/100ths. That's my answer. So I'm going to show you another way to do this using your place value chart. So I'm going to put the place value chart right here so you can see, so I can use these same numbers. All right, 7 times 1/10. Remember, this means 10th. You see the number here, 0.1, 0.1. That equals tenths. So all I need to do is multiply 7. So I'm putting 7 in the 10th position. So 7 would go here. 4, I'm multiplying it times the 100th position, 0.01. So look here, 100th position, 0.01. So that's where I'm going to put my number 4. And here is my decimal. So again, my answer equals 0.74. And that's what we got up here. So you can either multiply it out the way we did here and add them together, or if you have your place value chart written in your notebook, you can use that. And this place value chart is just a little bit different because now I have the decimals listed and the fractions listed, and these all mean the same thing. So that's why it's all written there. So now let's try another example. So here we go. Remember, multiply before you add. So I like to add my brackets around here because I'm going to do that first, and then I'm going to do this second. So 7 times 1 is 7, plus 2 times 0 is 0. You should all know that. Bring my decimal down. 2 times 1 is 2. Oops. And remember, I told you this before, if there is no decimal in your number because it's a whole number, the decimal is actually behind the whole number here. But we don't write it because it's a whole number. So if you're wondering where is the decimal, it's always behind the whole number. So again, I'm going to line it up over to the side. 7. Remember, secretly my decimal is actually right there. And then my other number is 0.2. So if my secret decimal is here, I put my decimal here, 0.2. And I'm adding these numbers together. 2 plus nothing is 2. My decimals are here, so I bring it down. 7 plus nothing is 7. So that is my answer. 7 and 2/10. Again, we can use our place value chart if you want to do that instead. That's fine. So here we go. 7 is multiplied by 1's position. So let's take a look here. 1's position is here. So we would write 7 in the 1's position. 2 is in the 10th position, 0.1. So look here, 0.1 is here. So that is where our 2 goes. And we have no other numbers, just those. So our answer is 7.2. And that's what we got, 7.2. So you have 2 ways of doing this. You can either multiply it out, or you can use your place value chart if you think that's a little easier. So here would equal 7.2. Now this bottom one is trying to trick you. I like to use my place value chart with this one just because it makes things a little more simple. So my number is 7.27. So if I write that right away in my place value chart, I'm going to write it down here just so it's a little way from that one. 7.27. Now I want to write it out in this expanded form right here. Don't get scared about this. It's actually going to be pretty easy. So we know that this is in the 1's position, so we need to multiply 7 times 1 plus 2 times 0.1 plus 7 times 0.01. So that's all you're doing. So let's go back up here and write that out. So remember, this is in the 1's position. So I like to write mine in brackets. 7 times 1. That's in the 1's position. Now we need to add the next number, plus 2 times, and it's in the 10th position. And tenths is 0.1. And add our last number, 7. And 7 is in the 100th position, which is 0.01. So 7 plus 0.01. And that's your answer in expanded form. Remember, you can always use your chart to help you out. So let's see if we did it right. 7 times 1. So over here, 7 times 1. That's correct. Plus, we need to add the next number. So we did a plus. 2 times the tenths position. This is the tenths position. 2 times 0.1. Yes, we did that. Now we need to add our last number, plus, and it's in the hundredths position, 0.01. 7 is in the hundredths position, plus 7 times 0.01. Oops, I wrote plus. This is actually supposed to be times. So that is our answer. So that's what you're going to be doing in IXL. If you have any questions, please give me a call. And you'll be doing IXL 5th grade, letter G, number 6. Goodbye.